Hello and welcome to Elk Camp. Well, as the older brother of 2 former Navy SEALs, I've always had a deep appreciation for those who serve in our military and protect our freedoms here in America. So when I got a phone call this year from Tom Wagner of Heroes Rising telling me that someone had donated a Unit 9 archery tag to their organization, well, I jumped at the chance to provide a Unit 9 guided elk hunt to a wounded hero, Dan Crane.
The Heroes Rising Outdoors program is an arm of the Arizona Elk Society, but Heroes Rising Outdoors was started in 2015. People were trying to think, what could we do for vets who have come back from overseas on deployment? And so we were trying to think, what can we do for Arizona veterans? And so we're introducing them back into the outdoors as a way of release. And so we don't have an agenda other than to get them in the outdoors. Our motto is healing through hunting, although now we're doing some other things, equine therapy, fishing, camping, and bringing families together. And we've had dads and moms and wives say, I don't know what you're doing, but this is more like the guy we knew before he went overseas.
When Tom first gave me this call to give me this tag for the Unit 9 elk hunt, I was extremely elated. I couldn't say no, I couldn't say yes fast enough, and I couldn't say no to him. And everything just building up was, I was basically telling everybody and all my friends almost every day that I'm just looking forward to this hunt.
So when I first met Dan, I thought, man, this is awesome. He's young, he's in shape. We're gonna be able to really pursue elk aggressively, which I like to do. Dan's just a super genuine person, and throughout this whole hunt, he was very eager to learn and understand why we did what we did. You know, he'd never hunted before, so he was into tracks and looking at the rubs and why the elk makes this noise versus that noise. And it was just a lot of fun to be out in the woods sharing that experience with Dan.
I misplaced my hand. Hey, Tom, have you seen my hand?
Can I give you a hand?
I mean, have you found mine?
No.
Ah, come on.
I just wanted to give you a hand, buddy, because you know you need a lift. Maybe you could use a hand.
You're so kind. What a gentleman.
Elk Camp with Steve Chappell is brought to you by Bergara Rifles. Our barrels make the difference. Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls. We call the game. Zeiss Sports Optics. Confidence in the toughest conditions. Scree Extreme Mountain Gear. and by Steve Chappell's Zero Hunt Fees. Experience Arizona elk hunting with zero hunt fees. Elk Camp with Steve Chappell is brought to you by Bergara Rifles. Our barrels make the difference.
I joined the military in 2007. My sole focus was to join and go to war. I joined the Air Force and I traveled all over the world, was stationed all overseas, deployed, and in 2012 I was actually targeted in Guam from a local national there. I was shot and it nearly took my life. If it wasn't for my buddy that was there that put a tourniquet on my arm and stopped the blood loss, I would have died. I wouldn't change it. I knew what I was getting into. I just didn't realize where it was going to happen. But I'd do it all over again if I could.
Well, I've been in Unit 9 guiding off and on over the past 16 or 17 years. I really enjoy Unit 9 because you never know when you're going to call in the biggest bull you've ever seen. There's always that anticipation, that factor of the next bull called in could be an absolute giant.
Oh, day 3, big bull elk. Oh my goodness. I, in the moment, was shaking. My heart was just jumping out of my rib cage. I think in the moment it just didn't feel right to pull the trigger, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because afterwards was just, I had a huge smile, my hands were shaking. It was the most surreal moment of this hunt, that's for sure.
Wow. Oh, goodness. You look good. I know, it's dude, my nerves are. I know. Yeah. I'm just scared, dude. That's crazy, man.
This episode of Elk Camp is sponsored by Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls. We call the game.
Hey guys, for this week's tip, I want to talk to you about my Trophy Wife Cow Call by Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls. Now this is an open reed call that has a mylar reed, and it has a very full three-dimensional nasally quality to it, and the bulls absolutely love it. Now 2 keys for me when I blow this call is, first, I want to wrap my lips around my teeth and blow the call with my lips on the reed. Secondly, I want to be sure that I get the air from deep down in my stomach rather than just huffing air out of my mouth. It makes a big difference in the tonal quality of the call. And then I want to blow the call in a very smooth, controlled manner. So now that you know how I blow this call, let's hit the field and hear what this call sounds like in a hunting situation. You can pick up my Trophy Wife cow call at your local sporting goods dealer, or you can go online and order it there. I want to wish all of you the best of luck on your elk hunts, and thank you for watching Elk Camp TV.
This episode of Elk Camp is sponsored by Steve Chappell's Zero Hunt Fees. Experience Arizona elk hunting with zero hunt fees.
So I would describe my style of elk hunting down here in Unit 9 as run and gun. It's fast paced, it's going nonstop, cover a lot of miles, but we're successful with it. We call it a lot of bulls, so it works well.
Tim's calling. If I was an elk, I'd go straight to him. It's from my vast experience and knowledge. He is top-notch, top of the line, and I can't see anyone do it any better.
I would say that I'm aggressive as far as getting to them, but once I start to call, I'm somewhat conservative. I slow it down, don't overcall, lots of soft calls, just try to coax them more than, you know, demand them to come out.
To take it up a notch. You gotta earn what can't be bought. You either are or you're not. So if you want to take a shot, I could have touched it.
This episode of Elk Camp is sponsored by Zeiss Sports Optics, confidence in the toughest conditions. This episode of Elk Camp is sponsored by Scree, extreme mountain gear.
Well, the following day, Tim and Dan are still at it. And I know with Tim's great knack for finding bulls that they're about to have another up-close encounter with another Arizona bull.
Tim's style of elk hunting is fast-paced. It's on the go, and there's no waiting up. And you got to make sure you're on it, or you're being left behind, or the elk's going to leave you behind. And that's exactly what I love, because, well, it's why not be in the trenches with the elk themselves? And Tim is right there in the trenches, and he gets you in there.
You see him, Cody? He's right there.
What I learned from Tim and Cody on this hunt was persistence and patience and respect for these elk, and to not treat them unethically or in a way that will adversely affect their future habits and behaviors. They came into it with complete respect for these animals, and I can see the heart that they have and the love that they have for these animals and for being out here. And that in itself is an invaluable lesson that I'll always remember.
You know, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Dan for hunting with us here in Arizona. And I'd also like to thank him for his service, and also to any of you out there who have served in our military and protected our freedoms. Thank you from all of us here at Elk Camp.